ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः। So the seekers of Brahma Vidya, they were thinking as to what is the cause of this world and how do we experience our joy, sorrow, from where we are born, how do we live, because of what, and where we return. All these questions. Then they thought, it is pointed out as the Brahman as the cause, but how can that Brahman be the cause? So they had some questions. They said there are other factors are also to be considered, like Kala, Swabhava, Niyati, Yadricha, Bhutani, Purusha, independently, separately, the time and such factors. They say, or combination, collectively. Can that be the cause? And they say, no. They came to this conclusion, no, not. Why? Atma Bhavat. That's what we have to think. What is the Atma Bhava? Now see, when we inquire what this world is, then what we find, anything that which is experienced by us as an object, then that falls in the definition of the world only. Right? This, whatever I know. So in other words, when we speak of this world, the 5 elements are also included in this world only. Right? And whatever pointed out, Kalaha, time. Now that you cannot think of creation without time and space. But the time also is object of knowledge, and time also is one factor of this world only. So they say, no, all these individually cannot be the cause of this world, because these factors themselves are in the realm of this world. And their cause only we are asking. So when you say what is the cause of this world, time also is there. So then what is the cause of time also we are asking. So how can you say time is the cause of this whole world? So Atma Bhavat means what? They themselves are identified with this world. That's called Atma Bhav. They are identified with this world. Swabhava also, when you say a nature of a thing, that thing itself also is a part of this world. All the laws, Niyati, Yadrucha, whatever you will call, or Bhutani, the 5 elements also you call, they will be only in this world. Again, Atma Bhava means it is because of their own nature. And what nature you see of this object is continuously changing. Something changing constantly, that changeable factor cannot become the cause of this total world. That's another meaning of Atma Bhav. Third is, because of the existence of Atma other than this. Because in fact they all are Anatma only. Because the very fact that they become object of knowledge, so the knower is someone different from them. And that's why it is said, even the combination of all of them cannot be pointed out as the cause. The rule is, whenever there is any combination of many things, collection, combination, it is always meant for other thing, entity which is independent, which is not a part of it. So there is some existence of another entity. The famous example, that you say a chariot or a car. What is a car? Only wheel is not a car. Only door is not a car. Only steering wheel is not a car. Only brake is not a car. Engine is not a car. But when you say assembly, all these things are assembled and put together, and then that is called a car. Very good. But is that car for itself? Or it is meant for someone else who is not the part of that car, and that is independent. So that independent entity already exists, something different from them. So these things, they come later on into existence. So such things which come later on into existence and which are ever changing, and they themselves are the part of this world, whether you call it atom and molecule and particles and electrons, or time and space and all that, anything that is indicated as a cause of this world is wrong, because they themselves form the part of this world only. So if you are asking what is the cause of time, you cannot say time itself is the cause of time. They are called Atmashray dosha. The logical fallacy of self-dependence will be there. Suppose I will say I am born from myself. But then I was already there then. Why should I be born then? Then who is born from who what? If you get this point, then you will find all the logicians or the philosopher or scientist and all that, when they say such and such thing is the cause of this world, they are missing very important point, that what they are pointing out as the cause, that is a part of this world. Its cause only we are inquiring into, and therefore that is cannot be pointed out as a cause. Therefore say no. Why? Atma bhavat. Atma bhava means that thing itself is a part of this world. This thing is constantly changing by its nature only. And there is existence of another factor even before of all of them. So they came later on, that means. So we reach in a very peculiar state. Brahman cannot be the cause. Because that is infinite one, how can that be the cause? Then all of these things are finite, individually, collectively, they can be the cause. That also not there. So then they say, what to do now? So they say, Naisha tarkena matirapaneya. By logical thinking and reasoning and all that, these things, intellections and all, rationalization and all, somehow we are not getting it. Now what to do? So they went to another method. What is that method? Now see the next mantra. It is on page number 12. Te dhyana yoganugata apashyan devatma shaktim swagunair nigudham yah karanani nikhilani tani kalatma yuktanyadi tishthatyekaha. They say, enough of intellection and rationalization and all that. You'll find many times in our worldly problems also we find, when we are faced with some problem, and we try to understand what it is and what solution and what these, and nothing comes to our mind and all that. Then you say, let me sleep over it. And enough of that. I just can't make out anything. Because mind also gets tired and all that. Because too many options are there, this, that. Leave it. Go to sleep. Or say any other thing you do. Whatever your hobby is that, that hobby where a lot of thinking is not needed there. So you do that. Watering the plants. Or music, or painting. Paint anything. What different does it make? Something will come out anyway. But then what happens? So his mind relaxes, and suddenly some flash is there. Have you experienced that? I think one or other time we do experience such kind of thing. But that is what, when we give rest to our mind and all, something happens here. And here, what they did, instead of now logical thing, let us practice meditation now. And the meditation to quieten the mind completely. And they see, they means all this Brahmavida, the knowers of Brahman, means the students of Brahman, seekers of Brahman, they dhyana yoga. They meditated. Meditated means what? They withdrew their mind's attention. When we say withdraw, mind means mind's attention only is to be withdrawn. Withdrawn from everything. And they say, now stop all these interactions. Just tune the mind on just. They dhyana yoga, by this practice of dhyana yoga meditation, quietening the mind and tuning their mind to whatever the truth is, apasyan, and what a strange thing they saw. They saw. What they saw? Devatma Shaktim. Devatma Shaktim. Swagunair Nigudham. Devatma Shakti means the power of the Lord. Of Chaitanya Swarup. Deva. Chaitanya Deva. The power of the Lord, and that power of the Lord was Swagunair Nigudham. It is hidden by its own qualities. So when the power itself was hidden, what to talk of that Paramatma, whose power that was, they saw that, and also they realized that Yaha Ekaha, it is this one Lord, Ekaha Adhitishtati. It is the one who is presiding over Karanani Nikhilani Tani. It is this Lord alone is presiding over all those causes. Which causes? Kalatma Yuktani. Beginning from Kala, it was said, Kala, Swabhava, Niyati, Yadricha, Bhutani, Yoni, Purusha, and Anisha Atma. That up to that, whatever that individually, collectively that is pointed out, this is the cause, actually this Paramatma is the cause. And this Paramatma, with its own power. So what they found, Paramatma alone, as Brahman alone, doesn't seem to be the cause of this world. At the same time, these things which are the products of this world also cannot be the cause of this, ultimate cause of this world. So something is there, and that is called some inherent power that is there in that Brahman. So that power presided over that Brahman creates this whole world. It is a manifestation of that power. Now you are all the students of Bhagavad Gita, So in Bhagavad Gita, in the 9th chapter, there is a shloka. Bhagavan says, Maya dhyakshena prakrutihi suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. You say, this is the play of all these Shakti, but Maya Adhyakshana, Bhagavan says, presided over by me, this power does everything. Devatma Shakti. Te dhyana yoganugata apashyan devatma shaktir sogunair nigudham yak karanani nihilani tani kalatma yuktani adhitishtati ekaha. Oh. If you have read Srimad Bhagavatam, then you will find, or even in Valmiki Ramayana also it is said, Valmiki ji in meditation saw the entire Ramayana replayed. But in Bhagavad it is said, Bhagavan Vedvyas Rishi meditated after Narad Muni visited him, and in meditation he saw this Chaitanya Brahma, its power, this Maya, and how all that manifestation takes place. Everything he saw in that meditation. So here the idea is, as long as we keep on trying to understand things with our mind and intellect and our senses, we will never be able to understand the ultimate cause. What we will be able to understand is the immediate causes. See, there are two types of cause. One is called the immediate and one is the ultimate. With our mind, senses and intellect, we will be able to understand some immediate causes. Because we should remember, our mind, intellect themselves are the products of this world only and created. So what is in front of them, they can analyze and see. But what was there before, even they came into existence, how do they know? Because that doesn't become their object of knowledge. And that is the reason why, with our intellect, we will all understand what is in front of it. That also only to some extent, not everything. Whatever little, we can perceive, whatever little we can infer, not where we can, presume and assume, only that much only we can understand. How much we can. Because every power of our senses also is limited. And even if I put microscope, telescope, and they also are limited only. However powerful telescope also I cope. But I will see something of distance. But how much distance? And to see that through the telescope, my eyes have to be there anyway. So the upadhis which we have at our disposal to know, they all are limited in their powers, and they can only experience what is in front of them and not what is in the origin. And that is the reason why Bhagavan, in the Gita also he said, Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Other than me, there is no cause of this world. Ultimate cause is me. Immediate you can say, this is this, this is that. No? Immediate cause of my shirt. Then what is that? Cloth. Anybody can understand that. And they say, no, threads. Okay, go little more. And somebody says, the cause of your shirt is dust. The soil only. How can that be? But if you go on thinking, the cloth came from thread, and thread came from the cotton, and cotton came from the seed, and that came only grew from the soil. So ultimately, so then what happens? Immediate causes are understood by us more easily, relatively easily. But ultimate cause is not understood. Therefore, if anybody says the kala is a cause, swabhava is the cause, they are not wrong. But they are not right either. They are not wrong, but they are not right. That means, as far as the immediate cause is concerned, that we say, yeah, that is true. Because everything happens only in time, space. But they come from where? The very concept of time is not an absolute one, It is a concept. Nobody has seen time as such. Who has seen any time? Only it is a concept only, that's what. That's why you keep on changing time clock also here, you see. Huh? Every 5-6 months you change that. And then in our dream, our time series is different. In this, our time series is different. Huh? No end to it. So, time also is a concept of mind only. So therefore, all these are immediate causes, but not the ultimate. That's what I say, te dhyana yoga anugata. So if there is some power, that power is manifesting, and that power is of the Lord. It is a very peculiar combination and all that. A relationship, I mean, of the Lord. That power does not exist independent of that Lord. And that Lord always has that power. It is not as somewhere he is powerful, sometimes powerless. He is not a president of a nation. Somebody is in power, somebody out of power and all that, It's not like that. Now just see, whatever, now say I am speaking. Whatever I am speaking, because it is the power of speech I have. Correct? And that power of speech is presided over by Chaitanya only, consciousness only, isn't it? Then only the power of speech can function. Now the very interesting point is, this speech cannot be without me. The function of speech, which is called speaking, the speaking cannot be without this speech, without the power of speech. But I can remain without speaking for the benefit of you all. That's all. So speaking cannot be without me, but I can remain without speaking. So that I, in whom is this power residing, that is my power, and it is Chaitanya Swarupa only. In that Chaitanya, other than Jada. But even in Jada thing also, if you see some power that is there, so the Chaitanya has to be there, presiding. Whether we see it or we do not see it is a different matter. So separately they cannot be caused, collectively, because who brings them together then? If you say collectively, that who brings them together? There some power has to bring them together. Therefore it was said, Sanyoga Esham, even their combination cannot be the cause. So te dhyana yoga anugata apashyan devatma shaktim swagunair nigudham. And the shakti of this Paramatma is such, it is hidden by its own qualities. Just like the sun. The sun is bright, brilliant. Correct? Is a Prakash Shakti. That Prakash itself hides that sun. And that's you can't see that. That sun gets hidden by its own brilliance. And this Atma Shakti is a constituent of Sattva Gun, Rajo Gun, Tamo Gun. And what happens is, we do not see Sattva Gun, we do not see Rajo Gun, we do not see Tamo Gun. We see only their effects. And the effects are such many and varied and all that, they themselves cover this power as such. We do not understand what it is. But the knowledge aspect, the action aspect, inertia aspect is of Tamogun, action aspect of Rajogun, Jnana aspect of Sattvagun. Now, these aspects are manifested, expressing themselves. So, we know them and we are completely involved there. And what that Sattva Tamogunatmika Maya Shakti, that is not known by us. That's That's what it is. Nigudha. It is the inherent power of that Lord. That power as such is not seen by us because its gunas are only covering it. But dhyana yoga anugata, but they meditated and then what they found, this whole creation, cyclic order, it is just moving, going on and on and on. It is a wheel. Srishti Chakra it is. And instead of Srishti Chakra, it is called Brahma Chakra here. And they started thinking of that Brahman, which has got its own power called Maya Shakti. That Maya Shakti called Prakriti Shakti, called all that. And then the whole manifestation is there. Now, do you know what happens? When it is said the whole manifestation comes from that, sometimes we don't get the whole idea of what is this whole manifestation. What is the whole creation? Because our sense is so limited. How much we know about this? And maybe only whatever the grosser thing, that what we see. Sometimes we have some feelings and emotions and all that, you see. But now, in the next mantra, metaphorically, it is pointed out what is this entire creation in this sum. So, what we have found, there is one Paramatma, and that Paramatma alone by itself doesn't seem to be the cause of this world. And all the manifested thing in themselves also cannot be the cause of this world. But what we find in that Brahman, in that infinite reality, there is some inexplicable power. From that power is a manifestation of this entire creation. And therefore they started meditating on that Paramatma, looking at that Paramatma as the very support of this whole creation. And then they started thinking, oh, this is how the whole creation is there. And what is that creation? Here, this mantra number 4 and mantra number 5, in this, there are two mantras. In one, first there is a metaphor of a wheel, Brahmachakra. And in the second is a river. The whole creation looked upon as a river. And the whole thing is pointed out. Now let us see, it is very, very fascinating also. Now, it is the wheel of a chariot, let us see. In that way they meditated upon that Brahman. How it is see? Tam eka nemim trivrutam shodashantam Shatardharam vimshati pratyarabhihi Ashtakaishchadbihi vishwarupaikapasham Trimarga bhedam dvinimittaika moham. And in the actually next mantra, the verb is there. Dhimahi. In the next one, the mantra, the verb is there. That is called Dhimahi, Adhimaha. Instead of Dhimahi, it is a Adhimaha. This we meditate on. So, Tam Adhimaha. Now they say, we meditate on that Brahman, which is the support of the whole samsara chakram. And therefore it is called Brahma Chakra also. Wheel of Brahman, or wheel of samsara. Tam. Now that wheel, it says Eka Nemi. It has one rim. Oh, this wheel has one rim. Trivrutam. Trivrutam means there are 3 tires. If you see the rim, your cycle also will be having a bicycle also, and on that a tire. Sometimes you get flat tire. So there are 3 tires are there. 1 rim, 3 tires. Shodashantam, Shodasham is 16. 16 extremities are there. Shata Ardha Aram. Shatam is 100. Ardham is half of 100. That is 50. 50 spokes. 1 rim, 3 tires, 16 extremities, and then 50 spokes. Vimshati pratyarabhihi. Vimshati means 20. And 20 fasteners. Oh, 20 fasteners. Ashtakai shadbhihi. And 6 sets of 8 factors. Every set of 8 factors, there are 6 sets. Vishwarupek ekapasham. And 1 rope or 1 belt, but of manifold nature. Manifold. Trimarga bhedam. Oh, Trimarga bhedam, having 3 different paths. Dvinimattaika moham. With a single delusion, which is the cause of 2. Dvinimittam ekamoham. Meditate. Now, naturally, when all this is said, what is all this, there is one Kalpopanishad, Brahma Puranas, and there are many things are given all this. And on the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, there is a commentary by Shankaracharya ji. But in the all our orthodox group, it is thought that this is not by Adi Shankaracharya, but Shankaracharya who came later on, different pithas are there, So on pitha, some person must have come as a Shankaracharya, Shankaracharya Pith. That person has written this commentary. So we do not know the name, but it's very interesting that person also has not said his name because he dedicates everything to Shankaracharya ji. And how do we know that it is not his commentary? Is it because of the style and all that? And second reason they point out, Anandagiri ji was one who has written tika, notes, on all the works of Shankaracharya ji. On Brahma Sutra Bhashya, Gita Bhashya, Upanishad Bhashya. But this is one Bhashya on which there is no tika of Anandagiri ji. So therefore they say, all the scholars, that it is not of Adi Shankaracharya. But actually that doesn't make difference to us because he has followed the same Advaita tradition only. And actually, because of his commentary, we come to know what is this Ekanemi and Shodashantam, Trivrutam, otherwise what is the 1 rim, 3 tire. We will just leave it just like that. Let me tell you, quite a few times, I took up this Shvetashvatara just to read for myself. And the moment this mantra came, I kept it there. So, then once I thought, I must read, and there we find it is very fascinating because, you see, only when you say the whole world came out, what whole world? What is the idea of all that? And this samsara chakra, we are the wheel of samsara or samsara sagar. What is all that? We don't get this idea completely. So now let us see. In the commentary, everything is given, but we just will understand. 1 rim, and that rim is nothing but that one truth, the absolute Brahman, that alone, on it only everything is superimposed. So when you say the round rim that is there, on that only the tire will be there and on that. But that is there on which everything is there. So what we have to understand from all this, that there is one Brahman which is the support of the entire creation of names and forms. Now the next question is, what are these 3 tires? Now these 3 tires are the three gunas of Prakriti, Sattva gun, Rajo gun, Tamo gun just now spoken, or Desha, Kala and Karana. How we experience the whole, the creation only in time, space and cause. Maya kalpita desha kala kalanash vaichitra chitrim krutam. That's why Shankaracharya in Dakshinamurti Stotram is written. No? So here the time, space and the causation, the causes, they are the tires. Through the time, place and what you call the causation. These are the three tires. There afterwards, there are 16 what you call the extremities. Now these 16 extremities are what? The circular form of a wooden wheel of a chariot is made with several smaller pieces of wood to cut and shape and fix together. Now, these are, what is the 16 which are pointed out? So these are the 5 elements, number 1. What are those elements? Space, air, fire, water, earth. From these 5 elements, only from the sattvic aspect, what is born is our 5 sense organs. Eyes, ear, nose, tongue, skin. So 5 plus 5, 10. Then 5 organs of action. What are they? Speech, hands, leg, genital organ and anus. These are the 5 organs of action. So 15 to ho gaye. 15 and 16 activities, and that is called the mind. These are the 16 factors. Now thereafter say Shata Ardha Aram. There are 50 spokes. Now what are these 50 spokes? Now all this is given there in that Kalpa Upanishad called, but it is in the Puranas that is given there, this Vidya. Now they are called, you see, in this world, there are delusory concepts also there or not? One hand, wonderful things also you see there, but there are delusory things also are there or not? That also constitute this world or not? Yes. There, what is that called? Tamaha, mohaha, mahamohaha, tamisra, andhatamisra. Sometimes these are called as narakas also. Tama means what? Darkness, ignorance. Then moha. From that ignorance arises the wrong notion that I am this body. And from that notion I am this body, then mahamoha, there were confusions about duties, confusion about what is truth and untruth, what is right and wrong, and what you call the glamorous world, tempts us. All that is called the mahamoha. So from ignorance, there is a wrong notion, and then from that further wrong notions and confusion, and then tamisra. Then sometimes they lust and passion and anger, jealousy and all of that, greed, and krodhat bhavati sammoha. That is called andhatamisra. Man becomes blind when that raging anger or greed or all that comes. Because the spokes are there, they're everywhere. Because that is keeping the shape of that wheel also. So the samsara is kept by these things all. So these are the 5 kinds of delusory concepts. And isn't it true? All the delusion is only really keeping this whole world going. Because if the wisdom comes, everything will disappear. Only when these are there, 28 disabilities. That was called Shata Ardha Dharam. So after Shata Ardha Dharam, 5 we have seen. Tamas, Moha, Mahamoha, Tamisra, Andhatamisra, greater and greater blinding darkness we get into. Then 28 disabilities. Now what is this disability? Ashakti. 28. Just now, 20 factors were eliminated. 20 which were there? Extremities. No, that was 16, sorry, 16. Out of the 5 were the elements. Then there were 5 sense organs, 5 organs of action and mind. Now, each one has got some disability also, you know. One hand there is the ability and disability also there. So they become 28 disabilities. Out of the 28, 11 factors, out of them, each one has got a disability. So how many are 11? What is disability? My eyes are very keen and sharp. So that is a great ability. And then there's a bifocals, you know, there's it. Then of the ear, huh? I think today is Wednesday. No, I don't think. Today is Wednesday. Oh, that's what I thought. Today is Wednesday. You know. Both deaf person talking to each other and all that. There's nothing to laugh, but that's called disability. I can't see, I can't hear, I can't smell, or कोई टच ही नहीं है वहाँ पे. वो चूहा काट के चला गया. The rat came and bitten and went away, and I didn't know also, you know, because the organ of touch. You see, I say all our senses, all our organs of action, and all those disabilities also come. And suddenly some paralysis, stroke, the speech is not there, or the hand and all that. So many. These also are the part of this world. Remember, part of this world. So there are 28 disabilities. Out of 28, then these are the 11 factors: Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, and Manaha. Right? That is. Then they are called, others say, 9 kinds of contentments are there. Tushtis. 9 kinds of contentment. I thought contentment is only one, you know. But how many kinds of contentments are there? Contentment means that enough. I don't want any more. That's called enough. But this sense of contentment also can arise in different people because of different reasons, remember. It may not be all the time very positive one. Huh? And the person says, no, I don't want anything more now. You know, this is enough. Like for example, some person is promoted in the office. He said, no, I don't want to take promotion. I am happy as I am. Now this happy I am is not a contentment because of fullness. But he thinks if I am promoted, I accept that promotion, I will be transferred from this place. Because generally promotion is associated with that, and then they may give you more money but more responsibility also, and I don't want any responsibility and all that. Huh? So then other people may think, oh no, you're very contented. He's not contented. Actually the thing is, this contentment is not because of any positive kind of, so there are many reasons. So there are how many ways contentment, 9 kinds pointed out here. One is called Prakriti Jnanam. Some develop the power to unravel the secrets of nature and revel in the wonders of the creation. And they are so very happy. Prakriti Jnana. They are happy with Prakriti Jnana. The more and more they inquire, do research, and then discover something, this, that, and they feel very happy. Contentment means happy also. They feel very happy. That is one kind of. Second, material, upadana. Some are charmed by material things and derive satisfaction possessing more and more. More and more things. The more I have, the more happy I feel and all that. So this happiness they are experiencing because of acquiring more and more. Some is because of knowing more and more. Other is time. Some people say, everything will happen in time, I don't have to, break my head for all that, So when the right time comes, I will have realization automatically. So they are very content. If somebody says, no, you must put forth effort. What effort and all that, If time aata hai na, to sab ho jata hai. Right time, everything happens. So now I am satisfied as I am, I don't have to do anything. This is time, according to time. Other bhagyam, good fortune. अरे लॉटरी लग गई रे, खुल गई. So then, the good fortune, some depend upon that, they say, Swamiji, I want to give $1 million, that's why I bought the ticket. Now it is your luck. Sometime in my Guru Dakshina, I used to get these lottery tickets and all. And sometimes it is a lottery ticket. I was happy that this person thought in that way. But sometimes it was outdated. That's why generously he gave that. People are there. But I was satisfied. At least he gave. Good fortune. So they are happy when something very wonderful thing happens, or at least expectation something will happen, Then they are very happy about that. Moksha also they think like that. Bhagya mein hoga to mil jayega. If it's in my luck to get liberation, I will get it. Now some people, arjana dosha, they say, just now the example I gave, that promotion also they don't renounce it. So it appears that they have renounced. But they renounce what? Sometimes it is positively seeing that, so much to acquire things, it is such a problem. So seeing that all problem in acquisition, they renounce it and they feel, I am contented. Now, if that is because of very positive thinking and then you work for Brahma Dhyana, then it is fine. Otherwise, it is only just a renunciation because they don't want to do anything. Other is Rakshana Dosh. Why they don't want anything? Renounce, because renunciation also gives happiness, remember. That's why you have garage sale. Because when you acquire too many things and then you don't know what to do with all that. And sometimes so many people have got so many kinds of books and all that, they say, donate it to library. And such kind of useless books will be there and all that, but मेरे घर से तो गया ना. ये तो रक्षण करना पड़ता है. If it is kept there, I have to protect all that and all that. So they find in renunciation they are finding the joy. But why that renunciation? One, because in acquiring there is a problem, in protecting also there is a problem. There is another Vishaya dosha. There is defect in every sense object only. Because these sense objects are very, very tempting, and they create desires in our mind, and we enjoy them for some time, but the bondage is created forever. So some people think, Bhava sukhe doshonu sandhyatam, and they say, No use, renounce that. And when they renounce, I feel so happy. They ever since I that got rid of all that, now I'm so happy. There is one kind of contentment. Other is Sangha dosha. Sangha means attachment. The attachments create only all sorrows and all that tensions. Now I am giving up all that attachment, renouncing that. That contentment or joy or happiness which you feel because of that renunciation of attachment. One is renunciation of object. One is called renunciation of attachment to that object. And some people think, in all these things, there's a lot of himsa I have to do, somebody have to physically, we have to sometime, cause some harm, sometime, emotionally also. So there is some kind of himsa is involved in. The more the desires are there for acquiring, some dosha will be there, Vishaya dosha, Sangha dosha, and what I call the himsa dosha, and all that will be there. Therefore, renounce it. And because of that, they feel a different kind of happiness. These are the spokes we are discussing. Shata Ardha Aram. 50. First there were 5. Then there were what you call the disabilities. Then there are so many tushtis. And now it is the 8 achievements, siddhis. Now this is not the 8 siddhis of yoga, but it is in different way we know things. And that also is a siddhi. How do we know things? One method is called uha. Uha means inborn. What they say, child prodigy, brilliant. 2-year-old only, and 4-year-old only. Whether it is music or dance or this or that or maths. Sometimes, someone has an IQ more than that of Einstein also. In UK or somewhere they found some person, some child had that much. How do you know that? That ability of that person to know that way is called uha. Then shabda. Some people by listening. Once they listen, and that is enough. No, nothing. Shabda. By listening, they gain knowledge. Third, adhyayan, study. Some people are very, very studious and all that. Only one listening is not enough. Thereafter, they have to study a lot, and note down the notes or take down the notes, and thereafter, a lot of discussion. Adhyayanam they have to do. Then they know things. That also is siddhi. Then adhi daivika dukkha vighata. Knowledge gained through forbearance of affliction due to phenomenal forces. When person goes through many, many adversities, also he learns a lot. Isn't it that we say? Man learns in adversity more than prosperity. When there are some kind of sorrows, terrible sorrow like an earthquake is there, or floods there, or so much destruction taking place, and suddenly you find a person has become enlightened, he has learned so many things. Then adhibhautika. When the surrounding also, knowledge arising out of cheerfully facing the challenges presented by the circumstances. Then also you learn. Because some people all the time complain about all these surroundings, and some people feel very happy, they learn, because they have got a positive outlook. And therefore anything that which happens also, adhi bhautik means surrounding and all that, from that also, they don't go into depression or anything like that. They learn from that also. Adhyatmika dukkha vighat. And of course, personal sorrows and all that in the body, in the mind, how agitated, so many things are there. Idea is the people are able to learn from adversities and very sorrowful situations which they may go through physically or circumstantially or even phenomenally, and all that whatever happens, and they learn. And that we find that the many people become highly spiritual because of that. And some suhrit prapti, well-wishes or well-wisher, some, there's a well-wisher, a teacher who guides them. Like Arjuna got Bhagavan, or Shishya gets Guru, and then Guru guides, and as a result of that guidance also they gain knowledge. And dana, some people get knowledge by, per month they will pay the fees. Teacher will come, or they go to the teacher. That's why so many classes are here, You have to keep your children busy. Swimming class, veena class, music class, dance class, language class, this class, that. Go on paying fees. And then they go there, and then by appointing teachers, paying them, then they also learn. There afterwards, 20 Vimshati Pratyaravihi. These 2-3 mantras are like this. Thoda sa, so many 20 these, 28 that, 19 that, and you can't remember all of them. Don't try to remember also. That's why it is given here. But what is the point here? When we talk of the whole creation, samsara, all these things are. Now these 20 nails or Vimshati Pratyaravi, the spokes are fastened to the hub and rim by nails and wedges and strengthened by counter spokes. And there are 20 such fastened in the wheel. The 5 sense organs and 5 organs of action. 10 and their objects. So 10. So 20 there. So 5 sense organs and their perceptions are also 5 kinds. Organs of action 5 and their functions also 5 kinds. So these are the 20. And thereafter it is a 6 sets of 8 factors. And they are what? Prakriti Ashtakam, Dhatu Ashtakam, Siddhi Ashtakam, Bhava Ashtakam, and Ashtadeva, Guna Ashtakam. All these are Ashtakam. Don't say it is Kashtakam. To remember all these. But I tell you what are these 8 factors. Each set. You see, first I was thinking, I will just tell you, just read this, But I thought, okay, you should have brought to your notice, because afterwards I don't know whether you will read or not. So better I read. And you will find are very interesting. The different ashtakas are there, 8. 6 set of 8 factors. This is our life. This is our world in which we are living. So having described this, we'll see in the evening, because already 12 o'clock. And in the evening we'll see this. And then you will find, in this samsara is this jiva wandering. We jivas are wandering in this samsara. Some beautiful positive things are also there, negative things are also there, and that whole thing makes this whole world. So what are those different sets? Also we'll study. Now let us sing the name of the Lord. It is very high, Baba. हनुमान जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान जय हनुमान। धीर वीर गंभीर हनुमान, धीर वीर गंभीर हनुमान। जय हनुमान जय हनुमान। मन की गति से भरे उड्डान, मन की गति से, मन की गति से भरे उड्डान। कपि सेना के तुम हो प्राण, कपि सेना के तुम हो प्राण। जय हनुमान जय हनुमान। तुम अति प्रिय सिय राम लक्ष्मण, तुम अति प्रिय सिय राम लक्ष्मण। कृपया दीजिए भक्ति निदान, कृपया दीजिए भक्ति निदान। जय हनुमान जय हनुमान। जय 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 हनुमान। जय 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 हनुमान। जय हनुमान जय हनुमान। जय जय हनुमान। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।